Good morning. It's Thursday, May 19th. And as I looked through the news reports this morning, particularly I was looking at the primary results in 5 states last night, and I can tell you one thing that I am unhappy about. Too many Trump-backed candidates have won. And many of those candidates openly admit that they believe that the 2020 election fraud and that Trump won that election. So here we are 2 years later, and there are still people running loose in this country continuing to believe that there was a fraud in the last presidential election. And the worst part about this whole thing is that these believers are running for office, and they may win the elections, and that will further throw this country into turmoil. One of Trump's most heavily backed candidates was Dr. Oz in Pennsylvania, and he was running against a hedge fund manager, Dave McCormick, and a young lady, Kathy Barnett. Now, Kathy Barnett is a staunch Trumpite, and the mere fact that she was in the race is what caused Dr. Oz to be in a very tight race with Dave McCormick, because she siphoned off a huge part of the Trump voters from Oz. So maybe that's what has to happen around this country. We have to get more Trumpites into the primaries, even though one of them may be backed by the president, the ex-president. The mere fact that if you had several Trumpites running in the same race, it would siphon off votes from the Trump-supported candidate, and then the Trump-supported candidates would lose. So I would think that there should be a major campaign out there to get more Trumpites into the primaries. And that would be wonderful. That would be wonderful if we had more Trumpites looking to run for office, because then saner people would have an opportunity to win the seat, to become the candidate of choice. There are a lot of primaries left. This is going to go on until September 13th. In my opinion, the primary system sucks. I've been against it from day one, because I don't think that the American public is really qualified to pick the best possible candidate. I still think that we would be better off if the party picks their candidates, because then at least we would have somebody who has something to win or lose in some skin in the game, as they say, because they would have to pick decent candidates to win. Now, they may be wrong, but I don't think we did so bad when the party picked the candidates. I mean, they picked people like Roosevelt and Truman and Eisenhower and Kennedy and Johnson. What's wrong with that? What was wrong with the way the party was operating? I don't think they did as badly as the public has done. If you look around at other countries, most of the other countries, democratic countries, rely on party leaders or certain groups of party members to pick their candidates. The United States is only one of a handful of countries that select candidates through some kind of popular vote, like the primary. Primaries have been described as a vehicle for taking the decision-making process from the political leaders and giving it to the voters. And the problem with that is that the voters are not devoting much time to the candidates that they would like to select. So it's a mistake, as in many other ways, to leave this in to the hands of the general public, because most of the people in the public are prejudiced in one way, shape, or form. They're not prepared to select the best candidate. They haven't done their homework. And if you consider the fact that when the people go to vote in primaries, the attendance at a primary is piss poor. In fact, our voting attendance in this country is probably the worst in the world. We barely get 50% of the voting eligible people to vote. So why do we want to bother with primaries? Why do we want to take people away from their jobs or whatever it is to vote in a primary when they're not even going to vote in the election? A lot of the people that vote in the primary vote again in the election. And most of the people who don't vote in the primary vote in the election. And we only get about 50% of the people to vote. So what the hell are we wasting our time and money on primaries? Maybe if the parties picked really good candidates, they would come out and vote. The people would come out and vote. But they don't. They don't come out and vote. And then, of course, we have states that are working hard to keep people from voting. They're spending all kinds of time and money and brain power to figure out how to keep people from voting so that the minority party, can put this country deeper and deeper into the hole. The good thing about a primary system may be the fact that it gives people who have retired an opportunity to make an extra buck a couple of times a year. And I think that money would be better spent someplace else. So that's about it for today. I can't think about anything else. I'm just pissed that we have this primary system. I wish you all a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.